All right, bye. Be good, guys. All right. Hello, hello. Oh, I'm on the wrong camera. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Everyone see me? Can you hear me? I gave 5x5. They're flying the coop. Yep, they got out. So they did enjoy it. They were on the floor here and they had their first dust bath. So that was actually kind of fun. So that was my slower opening start there. So before, what I was doing was trying to give it a minute of kind of blank time to let people get in here. And then I would do my little opening with the spinning around and all. But I decided just kind of combine that. We'll get going. Good to see everyone. Well, welcome. Let's see. Yeah, I just walked in and caught them. So they escaped. So that's actually something that happened about 2 nights ago. I peeked in the window when I came home and they were on the ground enjoying dust baths. And so I had left the door open the same way. I do love this cage though. I'm going to give a little bit of update on it. And so tonight's stream should take about an hour. First of all, welcome everyone. For everyone that knows me, thanks for coming back. Do appreciate it. I know it's a holiday weekend and whatnot, so I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Got to see some family or friends. Appreciate you guys very much for being here. If you don't know who I am, hey you. If you don't know who I am, I'm Matt with Grafted Branch Homestead, and so welcome. We are a urban homestead here and learning skills now to hopefully be on a larger homestead someday. So I'm coming to you from the Quail Shack again, here with Quail Shack with Matt. We got a couple things planned for tonight. So I'll say hi and do a minute of chat here, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the living insurance, which is my preferred part of the live stream. And that's just where I like to kind of talk a little bit about being prepared, self-sufficiency, and those types of things, give it a little spotlight for a moment. And so with that, we will take a walk around my little poultry village here, a quick little share of that. We are then going to move on to community shout outs. So this last month and throughout really the next couple is kind of going to be community shout out heavy, I guess. We're talking about other channels, other small businesses, family businesses, trying to promote that. I think the country needs a lot more of that. And so we will be doing some of that. We are still shouting out Feathered Connections. We're also going to be doing a couple purchases from our previous community shout out and tonight. So got a little video and things for that. And then let's see, we will be inside. I got a good tip for the garden and the winter as well, but a really good homesteading / prepper tip you will want to catch at the end here. So we should be at about an hour. Yeah, if you guys haven't given me a thumbs up, I do appreciate it, or a thumbs down, I guess, if you don't like it. And then if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that and turn that bell to all. Hey, we got a couple people in here, so let me go ahead and just say hi real quick. Hey, Verna, good to see you. I do want to mention, I always forget to, so I have Nightbot in here. So if you guys type in GBH, as in Grafted Branch Homestead, all capitals like that, Nightbot should drop your link to your channel. So if you have one and would like it to do so, you can do that there. Also, if you type in weather and your zip code or city or state, something like that, it will drop your weather. There we go. So let's see. J. Mary, I think, was the first one in here tonight. So welcome. Congrats. And we got Verna. There we go. Buster. Hello. Who else do we have? Renegade Black Sheep. Hey, good to see you. So a couple people in here. And to anyone who's lurking or catching the replay, do appreciate all that as well. So hello. Good evening. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving and having a good weekend this weekend. So let's see. Hey, Matt, YouTube demonetized your channel. Oh no. Been monetized since 2009. You have to reapply for monetization. They said you didn't upload enough. Okay. Huh. J. Mary, well, yes, you've got to upload a little bit more. I got to dig into your channel and hopefully you get monetized. So I'm not monetized here. I just don't have enough watch hours either. Hopefully we'll get there someday. But I am doing a couple of things around that. So if you guys want to support the channel, you're doing so just by watching, giving a thumbs up, subscribing. That always supports us immensely. That's it. And then also, if you want to grab yourself some herbal teas from our shop or some other products, you can go to graftedbranchhomestead.com, support us there. A couple other ways too. I have an Amazon affiliate. You may start seeing some links here and there. An Augustin Farm affiliate. Also just picked up a GrubTerra affiliate. So GrubTerra is some all-natural, organically raised mealworms, or black soldier flies. I'm sorry, not mealworms. And so that's going to be coming in. Hopefully we'll be doing that soon. And a couple other things. So Verna's trying the weather. Let's see. Is my Nightbot working? Nightbot may not be working there. Oh yeah, it looks like it. Okay, it's just not dropping the weather. Well, hopefully my internet continues. Out here in the Quail Shack, I don't get it quite so good. There we go. Yeah. So we don't get it quite so good. This morning, we actually had a lot of snow. So the high desert will get snow. It does get very cold. Tonight's supposed to drop down into the low 20s, I believe. And then this week's supposed to be really cold. So it snowed a ton, and the sun came out, melted everything off, and now it's just cold. So it was windy and all. So how are you guys doing? How's the weather in your place? Anyone have anything interesting happening or go on the last few days? J. Mary, you have almost, well, I don't know why I haven't looked up your channel, J. Mary. I feel kind of bad, man. You had almost 5,000 subs and lots of watch time. You didn't upload in a couple months. Your dog cat died and you didn't feel, oh no, I'm so sorry. Well, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Well, we are going to have to get over and check out your channel and try and push that. So that's a rough thing to go through. Wow, so just a couple months and they demonetize you. I know a couple channels that only put like a 20-second upload every 6 months and they're still monetized. So That's odd. We're gonna get over and check out your channel though, and so that actually gives me a great idea. And hopefully you're planning on continuing with your channel, because that gives me a good idea there. But okay, cool. So we're gonna kind of go ahead and move along a little bit this evening. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my living insurance, so that way we can get into a little chat about that. So let me play this quick little video. All right, so food supply and resupplies. First of all, if you're unfamiliar, Bunker Chat or Living Insurance is my little, my security light just came on, is my little prep channel, a prep part of my live stream. Sorry, that got me distracted. And so life can throw a lot of things at you, whether that be everyday things, some natural disasters, or, you know, even worse, or whatever it may that may be. Life throws a lot of things at you, so it's good to be prepared. And everyone does this to a degree, whether they think they do or don't. You know, if you're a lady, you probably have a purse that you pack with stuff for your day. I carry a EDC or a bag around with me. So, and then you carry some food and stuff. Now, today specifically, what I wanted to talk about. Oh, let's see, Bernard. I think that still should be interesting. Crocheting, cooking, or I mean, J. Mary, crocheting, cook. We'll have to check it out. Okay. So I was talking about food supply and resupply. So I talk about food supply a lot, keeping a good pantry, a rotational pantry, kind of a heavy pantry on hand. And then, of course, I have a longer term pantry that's a weekly or monthly that you can buy from, if you will, or go shop from. And then a long term, and that's going to be your freeze dried foods, your, you know, beans, rice, survival foods like that. Now, more specifically, though, thinking about a food supply preparedness plan, taking that even a step further. So when I talk about homesteading preparedness, I kind of mashes into one with me. And so one of the reasons I got into quail in the first place, there's a couple reasons, but one of those was from a preparedness mindset. And so quail can go from an egg to either meat or laying eggs very quickly in about 2 months. So it doesn't take very long. You can feed them as long as you're keeping their mess down. For fairly inexpensively, and I do want to go over that a little bit here. But they're a great source for meat, and as long as you don't eat them, you have eggs. And so we actually have chickens as well for the same thing. And so we'll walk around in a minute and show a little bit of that. But when I get to thinking about sustainability or a longer term food source, even if it's short term, it's a fresh food source, healthy food source. You have a good source of protein. Having those extra eggs on hand is nice now, and then if we needed them, of course, that's a lot of food. And so I start thinking about that. Okay, so this is a sustainable food source. I have the chickens. I don't have a chicken rooster, so that's why I have the quail. So they're even more sustainable. So as long as I keep them fed and watered and, you know, sheltered and all that, I'm going to get eggs every day and then a meat bird. And I can incubate those eggs and continue the process. So it's sustainable. Now, I start thinking about it a little bit more, and they are still on a store-bought feed, so that's slightly unsustainable. I currently have about a month's supply of their feed and water on hand at any given time. I'd like to up that to about 3 months. That is a little bit of cost, but when you look at it, that cost is cheaper than buying the freeze-dried food or survival food for my pantry. And while I'm stocking that up, I may not want to eat that food, but I can feed that to the birds, and that's food for me. So in a sense, that food that I'm stocking up is also stocking up for my survival pantry. So you want to keep some of that food on hand. Then I start researching and digging into it a little bit more and how they used to do it. And this is really going to get into seasonal breeding and growing and stuff like that. So when it comes time to plant your garden and crops, there are certain crops you can plant that are going to give you seeds and nutrients and things that you can give for your birds. You can do little bird tractors or free range, depending on your situation. A lot of different things like that. And of course, it's going to depend on your situation. But really what they do is you breed the birds through the spring, through the summer, when they can eat the bugs, the plants, the crops you're growing, and then come winter, would do a larger cull. And then you'd be canning, freezing, or canning, or freeze drying, or whatever you may, for your birds for that meat throughout the winter and spring, and then restart that process again when the crops go. So really it's just putting a little bit more thought into it, and the process in order to tweak that sustainability and get it to being more sustainable and able to carry me on. And of course, with that other food that I have on the shelf, throwing in some fresh eggs, some fresh quail meat, man, that's going to be a plus. You can stock up a ton of rice and beans. Doesn't take a lot of space, a lot of calories. That's going to keep you going for a long time, but that's going to get really bland. But throwing in some quail eggs and some quail, some stuff like that, that's cherry. So today with Living Insurance, I really just want to talk about your food supply, what you have on hand, but also that resupply or your sustainability aspect of it. So I think a lot of people are getting into prepping or being prepared lately, more now than ever, I guess. But and so they put a lot of food on the shelf. And so a lot of people will do that, and that food will go bad. It'll expire past the expired. It'll go bad. And so that's not good. And so then the next step they need to take in their preparedness journey is doing a rotating stock, using that food, finding what you use daily and stocking that up, keeping that rotating. Then the next step you need to take is towards the bigger pantry, the one you will shop from, if you will. And then in my opinion, the third step is your would be a combination of both your long-term stored food, your canned stuff, your freeze-dried stuff. And then also, I would encourage people to start then really looking at having some birds. You can have quail in an apartment in a small space. You really don't need a lot. This shack is great for what I need, but you don't need this. People like, I know Verna who does it, and I'll get to your comments in a moment, sorry, but I know people like Verna who does it in an apartment. You can have, 8 to 10 birds in a very small, just one of these little areas, and continue eggs, continue hatching, and keep that process going. So food for thought, something to think about. Well, I'm going to get into a couple comments, and then I'm going to do a quick walk of my poultry village. Just kind of show some of the things I got going on here as far as that goes. Now here on the Urban Homestead, we just raise chickens and quail. More than I may add another animal, more than likely we won't, because we are more quickly approaching getting onto some more land in the homestead, so that I may stall. Chickens and quail are good for now. I do want to add a few more chickens and some meat birds, so that will probably do, but just not other species. Rabbits. So I do want to do rabbits and all these in a bit. So let me get to a couple comments real quick. I might miss some things. Matt, the turkey I was freeze drying this morning ended up 5 meals of turkey packaged. Wow. Yeah, see? Man, and if you have a freeze dryer, so I hopefully my stream didn't drop. So I have a lot of freeze dried food stocked. And I actually got this when it was a lot cheaper, about a third of what it is now. I've been buying backpacking food years ago, so that's a blessing. That lasts 30 years plus. If you have a freeze dryer, that is awesome. Now, it does take a lot of energy to run. So if there was an actual situation, you would want to have your freeze-dried food on hand. Something I've been looking into, like with that too, is I know American Homestead, a couple others do canning over a fire. So that's something I'd like to look into, just in case there's power down. But man, yeah, I know you do, but if I had a freeze dryer, I'd just be pumping that thing, running that thing nonstop, get a lot put away. That is awesome. Your proof of the apartment. Yep, Berna does it in the apartment, and rabbits too, yeah. So J. Mary L, I just redid my pantry and found that I got way too many beans. I can one can had a Best By date 2016. Yeah, I might be a little bit pushing it. Can looks great. I'll eat it. So that's the excuse me. That's a good point. So you can go much past an expiration date. A best by date or expiration date is put on those cans really so that if you call and complain, they can say, well, it's past the date, in my opinion. Now, you need to seek other advice. Probably this is not legal advice, medical advice, what have you. There's my disclaimer. But yeah, if it smells good, the can's not dented. Dented cans can cause botulism, but if it smells good and it's in good condition, yeah, sure, that's fine. Renegade saying only raise, grow, or buy what you eat. That is the goal. Yeah. So you don't want, a lot of people will stock up a lot of stuff that they don't eat and they think, well, this is good survival stuff. That's a bad plan. And to be honest, everyone kind of does that somewhat to start, I think. I did too. And then really the goal is, once my wife really hopped on board with eating off the pantry and getting into making more shelf-stable meals and things, we really started eating what was off of what was on that pantry. And then that gave me a excellent indication of what we actually use. And so then it was easier to gear everything towards that. So that, I think, is kind of an initial step maybe that people take. Okay, cool. Verna's away from the keyboard. All right. Verna's saying best by date is just what the flavor is for flavor. Yeah, I can lose some flavor nutrients, and it's best as long as it isn't dented or leaking. You should be fine. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to just kind of show around a little bit. I know I have before, but my little poultry village, what I do on the Urban Homestead for a sustainable resupply of food, if you will. This is my ultimate prepper pantry, I guess, if you will. This is my prepper pantry B. Here we go. Okay. So first, we're here in my quail shack that I built. And so I'll kind of show around, but I have a 3-tier Winola Ranch quail cage. Right now in the top one is my mixed birds from my shire. Some beautiful birds there. Hitting my table and stuff. Just a second, let me fix my thing so I can walk around. There we go. Okay. You can see there. And this one here is my jumbo wild breeding sets. There's 2 sets in there. It's kind of dark. In order for the quail to continually lay, you need 14 hours of light. Now that can be just low light to read by. This is plenty in here for them, but it's kind of low still. Anyways, so there's my 2 jumbo breeding sets. The bottom here is, it was the root cage, so I kind of kept it darker on purpose. Right now there's 2 injured birds in there that are going to go to freezer camp. So I'm putting together that poultry first aid kit, more for bigger poultry, but I'm going to put together a small poultry first aid kit too, I think, and that's just going to be a pair of shears. I'm just kidding. So this is my Celadon grow out, as you can see from my little cage card, that these are going to be going on my site, I promise, hopefully this week. And so that's awesome there. And then my little bird. So I have it transformed here. I've went ahead and lowered it down to egg rollout. So I did get our first egg a couple hours ago. It's not a Celadon, but it's our first one. And so I got these 2 doors on top. I went ahead and I installed a water. They haven't figured it out quite yet. I can see because it's dry. They will. I'm going to end up putting a Winola Ranch, the trough waters, like you'll see in a moment, on the back there, just because I do love them oh so much. And this is going to get its own water tank as well. In the shack right now, there is 7 gallons of water hooked up between the 2 cages, you'll see. And then I have gallon jugs on hand as well. So there's one of mine that you'll see hooked up there. And then there's those trough waters. And so that is exciting. Oh, sorry, moving around my stuff. Right now in here is Nikki. She is hanging out in here as her coop is being built. She got kicked out of the flock, so she's our black silky. She's in there. I won't pull her out right now, but tonight we're actually going to be getting her some friends. And then here is the jumbo wild all females. This is just for my unfertilized eggs for some clients. A client there, and that's hooked up to that water. So this is a back door here that goes out. I'll point it out in a minute, but right now I have Nikki's little box there, so I won't go out there. Of course, tonight out here is all being brought to you by solar. Oh, yeah. So, Jimmy, I actually make these. I'll kind of talk about it, I guess. I'm going to put them on the website. I'm going to try and do it tonight. So it's rubbing off. So what this is a little dry erase board that has rubber all around it. And that's on the back, well, on the back and all. And that's in case it gets, poo splash and all. It's easy to wash. And so these have a little clip that I have put a special plastic melting glue on it. And I got these little clips from a website. They're actually really neat. And so they hang on these cages up to a 1/4 inch. They'll hang on a rabbit cage or whatever you got. I'm going to sell 4 of these for $10 and with 4 dry erase markers. Maybe I'll show how to make them, but they just hang on the cage and you can write whatever. I actually really like them. If you're forgetting which you have certain birds in a cage, or maybe these ones I need to write, for sale to somewhere. Anyways, really cool. So, yep. All right, so let's come around here. Tonight's all brought to you by solar. Various lights I'll talk about later I have, but let's come out here real quick. So I have some old cages over there. Ooh, my security light's popping on. There's 2 birds in that one. The other one doesn't have any. And then coming around, I think my outside lights are on. So I don't have very long. We came out in good time. So this will click on about 5 minutes, the red lights, before the white ones go off. And they don't register the red light as like daytime or anything, but it will help them get to their cages. So I can come through this is the back of the quail shack here. I'll let that car pass. Very often I will close this off. This Nikki kept it back here. I had a sick bird back here. Sometimes I put a broody bird back here. Nice space. Excuse me, some food, and then that's the back of the door. Of course, rain catchment. And then so we can come through here. I think my chickens have put themselves to bed. They have a water, and I have it out here, and that is so in the winter I can give them water without having to come all the way in here. I'm going to put a little door in there too so I can knock ice out. Now, this is their food container. These ports work great for the 10 birds I got. They are really nice, and a little perch. You can see some of the insulation coming out. I just need to cut that off and put the little facing strips on there. I'm debating though whether I'm going to do that or actually remove this wall and then close this for a later project. We'll see. So nice double doors here, kind of hard to see, but on the chicken coop expansion, that is the actuator and the little door that will be going on here, hopefully this week. So there's some of the birds in here hanging out, wondering what I'm doing. But they have 6 nesting boxes, which is probably too much, but that's okay. Just recently, and so these outside lights are starting to click off, so it's going to get really dark. I don't know how much we can see. The little chicken tree, they can go out, and it's locked. But this is my new expansion aviary that I'm building. And I have part 1 video out. You'll have to watch. Part 2 video is coming out soon. It's another solar box / little just box. It's handy having here for tools and things. I don't have to walk all the way back. That's a rain catchment system that's taken apart right now, but is going to be actually hooked up to a circulating system so it doesn't freeze in the winter. That will run through their coop, back through here, and then up into the quail shack as well. So the quail shack's going to be fed from a rainwater system, mostly in the summer, that will be pumped in from here into there. However, it's also going to be fed in the winter and the summer as well through an underground irrigation system that I have. I won't do it in the dead of winter because it will freeze, but anyways, we'll get to that later. So let's head back in real quick. And we'll be moving tonight along. We're about ready to get to community shout out. Little video I have, and I'll be heading inside. But let's go back here real quick. That light's working. Huh. Anyways. All right. So let me head in here real quick, and what we are going to do, I'll just hold the camera. All right, cool. Couple tests. I got 8 people in here. Wow, awesome. All right. So what we are going to do is we are going to be moving along. That is living insurance. I just kind of wanted to show food supply, resupply. And that was part of my pantry, if you will. So I can come there and we get fresh eggs every day. I actually sell enough eggs that it pays for all their feed and everything. Of course, electricity is solar, so that is awesome. The chickens are great because they will eat scraps as well. You can give some scraps to the quail too. Anyways, I'd like to talk about that, but we can talk after stream more about that a little bit. For now, we're going to be moving on. So I have been talking pretty heavily the last few weeks about, or months, about other channels, community, small businesses, family businesses. It's extremely important to me to be pushing that, as I know others have. I know Berna does a lot of that, and others. But I think that's more important now than ever, especially seeing the world around us, the economy, where it's going, where I want to go with it. It's important for me to support small business and families and start going that way more and more. And so we started off doing community chats here. We took a month and we talked. We picked a creator and or a family. We talked about the Hidros Family Farms, and so that was really cool. Tonight we're actually going to be purchasing eggs from them. That was a lot of fun. And then we moved on to Feathered Connections. And so that's where we are at right now. We will be doing that for the next few weeks. We're going to be giving some time to their channel, some shout outs, and other stuff like that. Now, her channel's a cool one to do right now because a lot of people are buying gifts right now. So we'll get into that. But what I'm going to do is play this, I think it's 2.5 minute long little video. While that's playing, I'm going to head inside because it is getting cold out here. And then we'll move on from there. Oh, did you get caught catching the little mouse? Yeah. Hey, Ed, good to see you, by the way. All right, so hang tight, everyone, and watch this little community shout-out video. I think it's funny. It's a lot of fun, I thought. Here we go. Yeah. No, you're right. That's a good one. All right, well, I better hop off for tonight. So you guys all have a good rest of your weekend. Stay strong, do the things, and until next time. Man, I love these quail. Jeez. Solo, if only there was a better way I could show people I love the quail or express it. I don't know if I should. Okay.
This is never gonna work. It pooped on me. Yeah, this is never gonna work.
There's gotta be a better way. Because poor little guy there doesn't look so good. There's gotta be a I need something I could show that I love my feathered friends. I need some sort of connection, some small family business that I feel good about supporting.
Talk dirty to me.
Guys, I wanted to let you know that one of the things I do in my spare time is you can think of. This is my newest design.
All right, much warmer in here. Can you guys see and hear me okay? Hopefully you thought that like that little video there. So I do have to say, don't duct tape your quail to your shirts. There is a better way, and we're gonna explore that here in a bit. So I actually have kind of three little shout outs I want to do right now. So we're gonna back up for Kelly from Kelly, which by the way, hello, for just a moment here. I'm glad you guys like that. And so actually I had a little photo I was working on that I did not get finished. I wanted to post, and it was a bunch of quail in little quail chain gang. And I was gonna say that we had a live feed from Kelly's covey there. It was an inside joke. And speaking of, that was from this morning's live stream on Base Place. So Verne, go ahead and drop your link there if you would. If you guys, I'm talking a lot about quail tonight. I talk a lot about quail, kind of in general. That's a big animal we have here on Urban Homestead, and one I like a lot. And so uh, I'm assuming a lot of you guys will do too. And if you don't, I highly suggest you get into it. It's awesome. They taste great. Um, but Verna is a huge source of information. It's also just a great time over on her channel because she's gonna drop her link. Good, thanks, Verna. But if you guys haven't checked out Verna, you've got to. If you're in the quail community, the homesteading, sufficiency, self-reliance, she does it from an apartment and does an amazing job at it. She's one to check out. So if you haven't checked her out, subscribe to her channel. Make sure you do so. She's also a moderator here and a huge amount of help to the channel. So we do appreciate you, Verna, very much. Next, before we get back to Kelly, we're going to backtrack a little bit to our previous shout out, and that was Guidros Family Farms. They do a lot of things. I've been meaning to get some purchases from my shout outs. So my goal is at the business to make a support for their channel as well. So I now have the means to do that, a small one here with the company. And so we're going to do that. So first we're going to head over to Guidros Family Farms website. And so let me pull that up real quick. And I'm going to do this smart this time. All right, cool. So Guidros Family Farms. And so what I am going to do is head over to their shop. And we're going to pick up some hatching eggs. So they have silky hatching eggs. They have a lot of other chickens here too. I want to pick up, and quail. But right now, Nikki needs some friends. I'm really glad. She keeps trying to join the flock. They beat her up every time. She needs some little buddies. The silkies I really enjoy. And actually, I've been running her through the Quail Shack anyways, even though she's kind of living in there right now. And she eats all the quail feed, or a lot of it, that they throw onto the floor because they're kind of messy. So she'll eat that, any bugs, anything like that. She kind of keeps good clean of the area. And so running the piece of that Quail Shack saves on feed for them and saves feed for me too. So I'm going to pick up some silky hatching eggs. And so I'm only going to get 6. I can't have a lot more chickens right now where I'm at. And I may get some roosters, which we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to go ahead and add this to my cart, and we're going to purchase it. Now I'm going to stop screen sharing in a moment here. Oh, look, I had it in there already. And that is because I did that last time, and it popped up all my information. So let me go ahead and stop screen sharing for a sec. There we go. Back to me. Oh, you just ordered 50 Celadon eggs from Guidros. Yeah, how cool. So my Celadon, they are awesome. I love those birds. They're the most healthy, gentle birds. Beautiful colors. I don't know if you saw from that opening video, but there's some great birds. I really love them. I'm excited for them to start laying the eggs and for me to really start building that flock. But yeah. All right. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. You guys are going to have to just watch my face from this angle. And I'm going to do that now, otherwise it won't get done. So we're going to check out with them first. And then we're actually going to head over and talk about Feather Connections, and we're going to grab we're going to do some support over there as well. So let's see, graftedbranchhomestead.com. We're going to go ahead and fill in my info. Make sure I'm not screen sharing. All right. So you guys just bear with me for one moment. And this is support plus great product. Where's this going? This is going to Albuquerque. There we go. And there we go. We got our shipping put in. I'm going to go put the credit card number, moving along. By the way, I do want to mention, so I sell a lot of things on our website. I also sell on Etsy and some other places, as well as here locally. And I do like to throw out all the time. I always barter too. I'm always willing to, if someone wants to message me or send me something or something like that. Barter is definitely something I will do. There we go. And that is silky eggs on their way, I believe. All right, let me make sure there's no sensitive info here. I just won't scroll down. All right, there we go. Let's do this real quick, and then we'll be moving on to connections. Am I still screen sharing? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. See, thank you, Matthew Atkins. You'll receive confirmation email soon. 6 hatching silky eggs. I'm so excited. Nikki is going to get some friends. Woohoo! All right, now let's see. Hey, is Aaron in here? That's cool. Hey, Aaron. What's up? So we just placed an order there. Got some silky eggs. I'm going to be placing some orders for some other chickens too. But Matt, next on the site, it'll be listing feathered earrings. I just sent those pics to your messenger. Awesome. So Kelly's been great about sending me pics of the things she does. My mustache looks so funny. I'm not as great about answering, and I apologize. I'm going to say this right now to anyone that does email me and stuff. I will get back to you or messages me. It does take me some time sometimes, but I appreciate it very much. I see all of it. I love it. It makes me smile, and we'll talk about that. Hey, you like it? Good, good. I'm glad you like that tea. So I enjoy it. It's all built for specific benefits too. So those herbal teas are going to benefit you as well. But I'm glad you enjoy it. We good. We really enjoy making it. So me and Casey, we got some more stuff too. I need to put in the shop, but I'm always saying that I really just need to move on with my business. But let's go ahead and move on a little bit. So we are moving. So this week we're talking, or this month here, about feathered connections and Kelly over there. And so, quail math is real, and expressing and talking about your quail is real as well. And so, with that, duct taping a quail to your shirt is not the best way to express to your friends and family that you love quail. That may actually end up having someone pay you a visit. So don't do that. Instead, what you can do is you can head on over to Feathered Connections. So we were going to go to their website first. And she's really updated it a lot. It looks really neat. Kelly's done a great job with this. I need to work on mine. Maybe I'll do that tonight. We'll see. I absolutely love her layout here. I love her whole mission, and that is city limit self-sufficient. So that's awesome. Let's play this. The only thing I'd say, and I don't know if you have ability
Hey guys,
to do it.
It's Kelly. I am
Banner a
coming
little
to
bit
you from our quail shed in Utah.
Okay, we're not gonna play the whole thing. You guys can go check her out. But we're going to go ahead and through here. So she does a lot with the quail, a hatch at home program, which I think is amazing. Actually, I've been talking to my wife a little bit about this. I think it's a great idea. If you're not familiar with what that is, you have to look into that. She's got merchandise, of course, with her shop. So this is what I was talking about here. She's got a lot of it too, which is awesome. And these, I believe you can put these things on all kinds of stuff, shirts. She said even pillows. Here's her freezer camp counselor. Sorry. And she's running a sale right now too. So good to be talking here about community shout outs. Both Guidros Farm and Kelly here. You guys got to visit their shops. You can pick up some gifts for people or some things for the holidays. So here's the shirts. Where I wanted to go though, with handmade quail crafts. So she has this on here, and there's a couple. So I know Ed, if you're still in here, this morning in Berna's chat, Kelly came on and was talking a lot about how she makes these and how. So Ed actually, I guess, is going to be having a Quail University class, I believe, on making jewelry. I just heard that in Verna's chat, but man, I've really got to get into the Quail University more and stuff. I'm missing so much from the community, but anyways, so she's got a lot of different things in here. Here's her hatchet home rental kit that I've got to dig into. She just hatched out button quail, which is awesome. Look at these quail earrings, and they're extremely durable. She was saying white elephant gifts, which they're just great gifts anyways. But that's a great idea for these little quail claws. What's this? Hatchet home guide. Okay. Uh, and then curriculum. So some awesome stuff. We are going to go ahead and make a quick purchase here. There's something I do not see though. Okay, so I'm gonna have to ask about this. We're gonna make a purchase here, but let me hop back over real quick, and I gotta ask a question. Let me hop in chat. Oh yes, okay. Let's get shout out Christine. You're just teaching me the feather earrings. Okay, she taught that. So I'm gonna be picking up a couple other things from Guidro's Family Farms as well. They do the crafts type things as well. So you guys got to head over there, pick up some birds, pick up some other earrings. They have a bee sting salve that they make too, and I know they've had honey before. I'm waiting for that to reappear to grab that. But excuse me. Farmer Casey's Kool-Aid tea. So I am reverse engineering that. We're drying the herbs right now. We're missing a couple of ingredients, and so this is something we ran into with Farmer Casey's teas, is those are all grown here naturally, organically, I can only say naturally, I guess, on the homestead, and it's not growing season. So when we started off, this year, we grew a whole bunch of stuff, and then we kinda start gathering, drying, developing, and doing that. Now that we have more of a clear picture of the teas we wanna use or where we wanna go, for next year, we're gonna be planning tea sets. So there'll be pots with the different items for that tea, all in a certain area. So I'm debating whether I'm going to cut and supplement some of his Kool-Aid tea with some sourced goods like we do for grafted teas, or just do it later. I think I might cut and source it a little bit, but mostly because they poop on you. You're talking about the shirt. So anyways, I am working on that and they will come out. I have gonna put up, I said last week, and then I kind of got sick and it was holidays. I'm really shooting to get some Farmer Casey teas in this week, in the next couple days, as well as the cage cards and some other stuff. So I'm sorry about that. Thank you guys for asking though. Farmer Casey's so excited. In a couple weeks here, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna take all our sales for the year, which is really just last few months, but we're going to have a business meeting with him. So I'm going to take him out to lunch and we're going to have a business meeting with him. We're going to look at sales, what his sales were, after cost, what his portion is, what of that is going to be invested or saved for him for later. And then, of course, we're going to take a tithe off our total sales as well. So I'm extremely excited about that. I'm going to miss some comments here. Oh, okay, yeah, the bigger header. That's the only suggestion I'd have. It looks great, but you're waiting for Guidro's honey. Yeah. Oh, okay. Neat. Yep. Very cool. So, kind of side note there, but let me go ahead and hop back over to the page. Kelly, what I was going to ask is, so I'm going to be buying a couple things off the site, and I'm going to stop sharing because maybe some gifts. But one thing I do want to ask is, you have those quail eggs with the message you could put in it. Can I buy some of those from you? I would like to get one with a message for maybe for an upcoming shout out or something neat. Anyways, I'm gonna stop screen sharing. You guys are gonna have to sit tight for a minute while I purchase. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to be purchasing a couple gifts here from Feathered Connections. I want to get some of her apparel too, some shirts and stuff. I'm going to do that a little bit later. I'm got to budget what I do here, so we're going to pick up a couple gifts that I will be giving, and then hopefully, Kelly, I can talk to you about buying some of those eggs with the note in them. All right, so let's go ahead and hop over to my cart and do this one more time. Here we go. Excuse me. Sorry, my congested. There we go. So 'tis the season. Hey, look, both these guys are offering me free shipping. How cool. Okay, focus map. I don't want to stare at your forehead. So I'm going to get on to a tip here in a minute that I'm hoping you guys are sticking around for. I think it's a good one. You probably already know, but I think now it's time of year to be thinking about that. If I can type my name right, I misspell my name, then I get charged extra. And confirm. There we go. So now that business has been doing all right for me, not bad. I got a little bit play there that I have set aside and budgeted to investing in other people as well. And I'm a huge believer that you know that by supporting others and investing in others and stuff, that'll come back to me. So plus I get some really neat stuff. Oh, my phone. It's called Surprise Message Eggs. They're on the site in the handmade section. I was like, just where I was. Oh, please don't tell my info. I'm not sharing. Okay. Um, oh, geez. Did I miss it? Okay, so I'm gonna put in two orders. Where? Let's see. Extra hatch chicks, quail necklaces, quail candles, hatch at home incubator, earrings, freezer camp counselor t-shirt. So that's really funny. We came up with the camp counselor part because I know freezer camp is a kind of a common term in the with all of us, but that we both came up with camp counselor, I think is really funny. I love where you've gone with it. That's awesome because I wanted to put some shirts and some stuff like that out as well and some stickers, and I like my design, still gonna do it. But where I really wanted to go with mine was towards that butchering kit. So, I want to pick up some of your designs. There they are. You have to put in a separate order, but just ship them together. But so with this, I'm not going to show everyone, but I'm going to get the surprise message eggs. And in it, I'm going to ask Kelly to put the name of our next community shout out. And so I'm actually not going to order it this minute. Um, so Kelly, you're in here, you're listening. I'm going to order it by the end of tonight so you can ship everything together. But I do want to research something real quick. Put the name of the next community shout out. So then I'm going to have to ask you to be quiet and not to give that away for the next about 3 weeks here while we're doing yours. Okay, so I won't order quite yet, but I think that's a great idea. So how too much fun. So you can get those eggs with the messages for gender reveal announcements or stuff, and I just think that's a great idea. So cool, awesome. I do want to screen share one more thing with Feathered Connections before we move on. We are going to go slightly over an hour, but let's see. And that is her YouTube channel. So I know that Kelly with Feather Connections does a lot in the community. She does a lot with also on social media with TikTok, Facebook, with Gopher Ridge. She does a lot of uh, farmers markets and craft shows. Uh, this lady has a lot of energy. I don't know how she does it all. I really don't. She is on the ball with pushing her business and moving herself along. So while we're on her channel here, it is still fairly small, 113 subscribers. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to her and turn that bell because we are going to raise that number. But she does a lot elsewhere as well. She's really pushing her business. I know it's her family business. Her and her kiddos there a lot, and she would like to bring her husband home more, I believe. And so, we are definitely for that. And so hopefully she can really grow her business. I think she's in a niche there with the quail shirts. And I don't know if you saw in the community shout out video, but you can even get a phone case with quail stuff on it. The designs are awesome. And I think that's something that you don't find everywhere. You can get the generic quail stuff. A lot of them are Bob White things, but anyways. So go ahead and check her out over here, as well as Facebook and some other places. There we go. So that's community shout out for this week. If you guys have pictures, things you're doing, even if you're not a creator, feel free to send those graftedbranchhomestead@gmail.com. And I will share with the community if you'd like, or if you have anything you're doing, even if it's not time for me to pick a new community shout out, we are putting those in there as well. Um, just add in the notes section of the order who it is so I can add that inside. Okay, yep. And you'll keep it secret. Cool. Kids are crazy and they are so much fun though, but man, they are a lot of energy. They take a lot of energy. They are a lot of energy. I know I look at them sometimes and it just vibrates with energy. But so they're a ton of fun. All right, so let me go ahead and see what I have in my notes. Okay, yep. So all I have left is my garden slash homesteading tip. Something I think that is good and something you can think about this time of year to help for later. And then we're just going to do some chat and comments for a few minutes until I hop off. I won't get baby foot. Oh, Verna, I won't get the baby bunny video until tomorrow. Everyone's got to check that out. We'll head over and check it out. I know Gidros too. Aaron, I believe, said that the greenhouse is done, but they're going to be putting up that video later. I need to head over there as well. So what I would to do for my tip here is what made me think about it actually is Thanksgiving. So these are some bones I have in a bag, and they're real brittle. And so a lot of people did a Thanksgiving turkey or quail or chicken or whatever you may have, poultry, different meats. Right now, our Thanksgiving turkey is actually in the crock pot boiling. And so what I wanted to say is a lot of times this year, people are cooking your birds, kind of do it. I suggest you do it all year long, but now's a good time. You strip it down of its meat and everything, and then those carcasses you can throw in a crock pot, a bunch of quail carcasses or a big turkey carcass, what have you, and let that boil. I let it boil for about 2 days and really cook down, and then you can strain it off. Use that broth. I like to can it. That's great. I get the bird scraps that are still left in there. You want to make sure you remove all the bones because it's cooked really well, and give that meat to the animals, the dogs, and then the boiling it in the crock pot really just strips it of all the meat. So the bones are going to come out pretty nice and clean. So I'll strain all those out. I get all the bones and then rinse them real good in the sink and put them in the oven, real low at about 215 degrees or so. And I just let those go until they're thoroughly dry. So, maybe 5, 6 hours or longer. And you'll know they're real dry. They'll get real white and brittle. And so great time of year to be doing that and saving them throughout the winter. Once you get your bones and they're nice and brittle, I'm going to take my little stone here and grind them down into a fine powder. It doesn't have to be poultry bones. It could be any kind of bones. And so I grind those down into a powder, put them in a mason jar, and keep that all throughout the winter until spring. Now, I do use it a little bit through the winter. It's good to sprinkle on that food for the birds sometimes to get some extra calcium for the eggs. Uh, that is because I keep my birds laying all winter, forced light and whatnot. If they weren't laying throughout the winter, I wouldn't be giving them calcium during the winter. But anyways, just a little amount. Majority of what I do is I keep that in the jar. And then come springtime, when the plants are rooting and growing, you can take some of that calcium in the jar or that broken down bones in a jar, and you cover it with a little bit of distilled white vinegar or a little bit of vinegar just to the top, and leave it. You stir it up real good and leave that for about 20 minutes or so. And you're going to see it start to bubble up. And what that's doing is that vinegar is releasing the calcium into it from the bones, so it's in a more soluble and a better form for the plants to absorb through the roots. And so what you'll do is you'll take that mixture, and I believe in a mixture of 1 to 10, I think it is, to water. You'll add that to a bunch of water, and then you can
water the roots of your plants throughout your garden and give them a really good calcium boost to get them going. So now at the time of year when your garden isn't doing a lot, probably that you can be really thinking about spring and getting going next. So that means buying seeds from, if you haven't seed saved yourself, buying seeds from people who have, um, getting your seeds. I also start storing different fertilizers, and so my compost pile sits. That's going to cool over the winter a little bit. But I can get calcium stocked up and start stocking on some other different fertilizers like that, just to give me a head start for the spring. So that's my little gardening homesteading tip there. Cooking the turkey made me think of it. After you make bone broth, you dry out the bones, then grind them up. Yep, put them in the garden. You can just put them in the garden just like that. So I will actually take the eggshells as well from the birds, and I will dry those out, grind those up, give them to the birds for calcium. But if you sprinkle those along the top of the soil, the little shells will cut the exoskeletons of the bugs, and they will dry out and die. And so that's actually good pest control there too. You can do the same thing with eggshells. Your mic is breaking up a bit. Oh no. Hopefully everyone caught that. My internet's bad. We have a storm coming in. Buffering. No. Okay. Well, I'm about ready to wrap it up. Hey, Bob. It's good to see you. So glad to see you. Well, howdy. Hey, Bob, if you want to, my suggestion is watch and replay, and if anything, at least go to the little part where I show the community shout out. It's about halfway through. Um, I think there's a funny little clip I did that I thought was funny. You may enjoy. So Bob's awesome. He was in our community shout out a little bit too, because the build he likes to share with us. All right, cool. Hopefully, I'm not buffering and the mic's not cutting too much. That's about all I had for tonight. We did our living insurance. We talked there about food supply and resupply and the importance of prepping for your animals and then your animals being a prep for you. Or my prepper pantry. We talked just chat, we did these shout outs and all that good stuff. Got some orders in from Boudreaux's Farm and Kelly with their Feathered Connections. Got our calcium tip and good chat. You guys rock. That's about my live stream for this evening. We are going to be on tomorrow. So it's been a little weird, but tomorrow morning we'll be on 9 a.m. Mountain Time for Garden Tea with Farmer Casey. And we can chat about teas and other things with him in the morning. It's been a little while since we've had a good one of those chats. So you guys will have to join for that. Other than that, I will be back next week. I got some other things going. I do plan on getting out part 2 of the chicken aviary chicken run expansion video up. My goal is to be putting out more actual videos. I'm going to be putting up, now that I found what I like about my quail cage I built and what I don't like, I've been kind of revamping plans, and we'll be getting that PDF up hopefully soon. That's my goal. I wanted to make sure I tested it out before I put up the PDF. I'm also building from reclaimed wood and stuff, a chicken coop for the silkies. And so I've been designing that, and that will be going up as a PDF and all, and some people on doing that as soon as I can. There was one other thing I wanted to say. I am going to be doing another incubator build. I keep saying it and putting it off and all. I want to do it. It's been on the top of my list. What kind of pushed me to I got to get it done is my analytics really. So I'm trying to get monetized. I would like to do that to help support ourselves so I can get away from the 9 to 5 a little bit. And with that, when I look at my analytics, my incubator build video, I think is one of my big. I was like 13 or 14,000 views on it. And so in order to get some more watch hours as well as to help people out, and then I want to rebuild it, not the same like I did with the quail cage. I build it, test it out, and then I find what I like and don't. And so there's a lot of things I want to change on it actually. It's not going to look the same. It's a different build. It's not the off-grid incubator. It is a low energy incubator. And then it's got some neat features with humidity and some other things that I haven't seen in some other incubators. And I will let you in on what I've been working on just a little bit is so one of the issues I have with my incubator is opening it up to get the baby chicks out, even if I let them sit 3 days, and that cool air in, which shrink wraps, and then it diminishes my hatch rate on my quail a little bit. So I've been mulling this problem over as I in notebooks full of problems I mull over, trying to figure it out, and I think I've come up with a kind of a neat solution to a combination product. I'm gonna be doing that. I say I'm gonna do things a lot, and then life gets in the way and time goes too quickly. But I think the analytics is gonna push that. Luis Ramirez, incubator, please. I, I think you've left a comment. Where's my water? One moment. I gotta grab a water. I think you left the incubator. Okay, one moment. Okay, so I do believe you've left me comments saying that you want that. I've gotten a lot of comments on the incubator, on the build, on all kinds. So I do want to do another. My little incubators are just a little bit too small. For the 6 chicken eggs I got, I think it's gonna work great. But there's a lot of features I want to add, and I love building the incubator. It was a ton of fun. It's a project I really want to do. Now I actually have large upright refrigerator, a retail refrigerator I got from work that is broken as a refrigerator, but I'm eventually going to make that a refrigerator. I have plans drawn up for a off-grid ish incubator, and then I also have for the one I'm working on now. I'm going to move on that quicker to help my channel out, to hopefully help some of you guys out as well. I know incubators are kind of touch and go, and some of these features I'm going to add into it, I think are going to change the game a little bit, hopefully. So that's going to be fun. I am going to do that. Incubator, yep. And so we will be getting onto that. Um, so I like taking problems and then kind of trying to think outside the box. So, like with the quail cage I just built, one of the things I really always wanted with a quail cage is I like some of them are flat bottom. That's good for brooders. That's good for grow out, for just male cages. It's good to have it flat bottom, maybe if you want to give them a sand bath. Then I also really like the egg roll that keeps the eggs clean. It's easier to gather them. It allows you to do breeder sets and different things like that. So I wanted a cage that could do both, and I really didn't see anything like that that I'm aware of out there. And so with my cage, it has a lowering bottom with side panels that lower as well. And so I can make it flat bottom real easy. Pull 2 hooks and up, and it's flat bottom, and give them a dirt bath or set it that way for grow out. And then I can lower it 2 hooks, beautiful, for a 2-inch egg rollout. So that solved that problem in that cage. I wanted different access points, so I gave it some of that. I wanted the bottom to sit lower than the edge of the bottom than a lot of other cages I see, so that way they're not pooping up on the side. This cage solved. I wanted a drop before the tray, and then a deep tray that actually sticks out under the edges. Now, I love my Winola cages, but one of the biggest problems I have is the tray is directly under the cage, so the poop goes out the sides. That can be fixed, but I don't have any mess on the ground under that quail cage at all. It all falls, either the stuff that goes out the side hits those side panels and into the tray. Real deep tray. It's I believe a 1-inch, 1.5-inch, and so it collects a lot. It's easy to pull out, so I love that feature on it. Let's see, what else did I include? It all breaks down IKEA style for cleaning. I haven't had to do that yet, but I really like it. And so with this incubator, I'm gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna go outside the box a little bit and do something I haven't seen done yet. And so you guys will have to stay tuned for that. I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna finish drawing up the plans this week and hopefully start build. It's holidays, so that may throw it off a little bit, but I'm gonna get that going really quick. And so it's gonna be a DIY that people can build their own incubator a lot cheaper than bought. Plus, it's gonna have features you can't find. That was a lot to say. Quail are manna. I like to call 'em my Exodus quail. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Does anyone have any questions? Anything you'd like to chat about or say, before I do hop up? We'll wrap up, but we'll leave it open for any other comments or questions or anything, you guys may have. We got 10. I'm always hopping off at the peak, I feel like. That's alright. We can give it a few minutes if people wanna talk about other things. Quail or manna. So, Kelly, you were saying the button quail fly? So quail, if you guys are unfamiliar, they're kind of glorified jumpers. They don't really fly, but they jump and glide and flutter. Do the button quail fly more like actually fly or like chicken fly? Oh, I am all about supporting you guys. The only way I'm gonna grow and be able to accomplish the things I do is I do believe is by helping others as well. Okay, jumbo white versus jumbo brown. Sure, I've done both from different breeders. So right now I have jumbo wilds. I have done jumbo whites and jumbo browns. I like them both. The whites are beautiful. They're beautiful. I do notice for whatever reason, it could just be my observation, but I noticed the whites being a little bit more aggressive. Um, I definitely noticed that, and maybe it's just you can tell more because when they do get beat up, you can really tell, you can see the blood on them and stuff. Um, I like the whites, they're beautiful birds. I have one right now in my Celadon cage. I probably wouldn't do them again just because quail can be very aggressive. One thing I do tell people who are thinking about getting into quail or just starting is be prepared for aggression. Be prepared for having to cull some birds that get beat up and, cull aggressive birds. Um, when they are aggressive, though, it looks like an absolute massacre with the whites. They will just bloody them up and so that's probably just for that reason I wouldn't do them. That's why I would do the browns. Other than that, I got blow my nose. Hang on one moment. Sorry. That's really the only difference I noticed between the 2 was a little bit more aggression, and then you just visibly see the injuries more. Um, and so that's probably why I wouldn't do the whites. And feather sexable, yeah, okay. So sorry, I got some of my nose. That's another thing too. I really enjoy feather so I have a couple different breeder groups or sets right now you may have seen. My top set is my mixed, Quaternix quail, just the regular mixed birds, beautiful birds. I love them. They're not feather sexable, so I have to do kinda like Steve where he said he pulled up a snack and a drink and sat in front of his cage just to watch him and see which ones start ruining. You can also check them, vent sex them. I'm not good at that, or see which ones lay eggs. If they're feather sexable, it's a lot easier. That is one of the reasons I've gone to a lot of jumbo wilds. Um, Also, when you're getting your quail, you need to do it for, let me back up, sorry. Look at why you're doing them. What's the purpose? So I have several purposes. I started doing the quail with self-sufficiency, self-reliance in mind, a clean food that I can grow humanely, butcher here, learn those skills. Um, I did want to learn butchering skills on small scale so I can upscale that. So I have them for us to eat eggs and meat and then for sustainability. So those jumbo wilds are great, big birds, big eggs, good for that. I also want to sell some of the birds and eggs, and that is so I can pay for things. Hopefully, eventually, I'll be selling some um, hatching eggs and things like that as well. So with that in mind, I want to gear towards my customers. I have one customer that really likes the eggs, the big jumbo eggs, so we'll do those. Um, People like the colors, so I'm hoping with doing hatching eggs, those mixed birds will do well. And then, of course, the Celadon eggs, everyone asks for and wants, and so there's that. So it's really gonna depend on the purpose, I guess, you have. And who asked? Oh yeah, they all taste yummy. Yeah. Okay, so that is not just my observation, but they get dirty. Like having a white car, an aggressive white car. The browns seem to be slightly bigger too. Yeah. So my favorite bird, personally, just from caring for them, I guess like a pet would be, I love my celadons. I like the mixed ones. I like the colors. I really enjoy seeing that. So once I get the quail aviary built, that's where those birds are gonna move, the mixed ones, the ones I just enjoy, so I can go sit out there, still collect the eggs and eat the birds and all that, but, enjoy them more, and then the feather accessible jumbo wilds, more for sale. Hopefully that answered that question. Hatching eggs are nice, yep. Taste like chicken, hell no, they don't. When I describe their taste to people, I tell people it is kind of a cross between, uh like chicken and turkey. I try and describe it maybe like dark meat of chicken, but not oily, not, it's more like the texture and all, the breast meat, a little more of the taste of the dark meat. It's not gamey. It's not like chicken quite, a little different. Yep. Hey, you have a good night. Thank you for showing up. Anyone that's gotta go too, I understand. You guys rock. Have a good one, Jay Mary. Appreciate you for showing up in the chat. Take care and have a good evening. Like dark turkey meat, that's what Spicy's saying. It's it's good, it really is. We wanna eat and incorporate it more into our family's diet here. I also wanna start incorporating it more into my dog's diet. So part of s we store I store a lot of dog food. You can't store the dry food quite as much because it's oily, doesn't store as long. So I also store canned food. I do have canned food too because Chewy, our older dog, only has, like, 3 teeth, and so I've been feeding him canned food. But I wanna start doing, some quail and vegetables and things like that, moving their diet more towards that, and then including rabbit and stuff eventually. There you go. But oh, let's see, Artesia, oh, it's an Amber Alert. Okay. Any other questions? Anything else anyone would like to see me do or, that I can write down? Um I do have to throw out my plug, I guess, before I leave. If you guys want some good, organic, herbal teas, you can head over to graftedbranchhomestead.com and pick up some of our grafted teas. You can get some of our naturally grown here on our homestead farmer Casey teas, as well as quail products. If you guys are wanting to know when new things are going to be up, check my store Thursday. I'm going to have those cards in there by Thursday. Cake cards and more teas. And I have a few other products I might be able to get in there as well. But if you check the shop on Thursday, everything that I need to put in there should be in there for now, at least. Yeah, so that's how you can support us. And it looks like that may be about all. So I think we are going to call it a night. You guys rock. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for supporting for the fellowship, the community. This is an awesome community. Thank you guys for supporting each other as well, whether it just be by saying hello or subscribing to a channel or whatnot. You guys rock. Good quail feeders. Oh, that is a whole topic I can go into. Let me give you a good answer. So I like the J feeder that I got from my NOLA ranch. That does well. The trough feeders are okay. I do think they need a cover. The biggest issue you have with quail feeders is quails like to throw their food everywhere. So if you can come up with something like the feeders Bob built, where they get their head in and can't flick it out, that's going to be best. I think it's going to depend on the cage they're in. I did do a video on no mess quail feeders. You can find it in my Corturnix quail playlist. I'm gonna update those playlists. You can find it there. Bob built some on the website. If you go to community shoutouts over to Bob, I don't know if I got the pictures in there. I will if not. Um, yeah, they come with a cover. Mine didn't come with a cover. So good quail feeder is going to be one that they can't make a lot of mess with. I'll have to dive into that more, but I will. I'll dive into that more later. You guys have a good evening. Thank you for showing up. Stay strong, do the things. Check us out tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Mountain Time, or next week, or in our videos, and leave comments. So we appreciate it all. Guys have a good evening. We'll catch you later. Oh, I got one little thing I gotta play. Where's that? Ooh, it's outside. I can't pull it up. I'm gonna have to do my Farmer Casey's. Like and subscribe. Yeehaw! Oh, bless.